Hello, this is Debra Carmona. I am in the middle of a very big project. You can see here some little ships that I've made out of cardboard, and over here I am building the ocean waves. Now I don't know if any of you would have need for what I'm about to share, but if you're building sets, cardboard can be a wonderful material to work with because you can usually get it for free and it's cheap. I usually take corrugated cardboard and I double it up so we have 2 layers, and that makes the thing strong. Like here's a ship. The sails are not completely done. Right now they're just primed with white and it's flat, but I will make them so that they look more billowed out. But this is a ship and it is 2 layers of cardboard, so it makes it a very sturdy prop. I also have a dolphin, which can jump out of the water. And let's see if I can do this right. I don't know the tune. You know, the Jaws tune. Shark. So we can have a little shark just passing by to keep the audience's attention. Just some things that I've made out of cardboard, and I did make these double-sided so it can go this way or it can go that way, and the same thing with the shark, it can go this way or that way, and it's just a little piece. And I might make some birds and put them on a stick so we can have some birds flying by, and I'll have a little person behind the scenes under the waves, making things move around, because I have a few extra special tricks that I want to do with my Vacation Bible School set. But I want to show you my process in case you ever have a need. My guest room, it's also my sewing room. It has turned into a costume room. I am getting ready for Vacation Bible School, so I pulled out all the costumes and I'm trying to organize them to figure out who is going to wear what, and I got to start bagging them up to give them to the people that need them. And I put this little table here, so I took the bed out and I put this little table here so I have a place to work. And then here's my patterns for making costumes for the colonial period. Most of these are prairie or pilgrim costumes, some colonial costumes, and so this is kind of a project room instead of what was a guest bedroom. And this room is full of cardboard because I'm going to be using the cardboard for making props for Vacation Bible School. There's like 2 rows stacked. You can't even tell. There's all that cardboard over there and this cardboard. And I'm going to be making something really cool out of this cardboard. And that is my current project. So yeah, I have a bit of a mess here, but I'm going to turn it into something amazing. Alright, I've organized the cardboard. There I have the tall ones that are like 7 feet or more, and these are like between 30 and 40 inches tall if I use them this way. And the smaller boxes stacked up here, and the wider ones here, and then just some odd extra wide pieces. So I've got a lot of cardboard, and now that it's sorted, I can come in here and grab the pieces that I need to make what it is I have to make. Into my cardboard stash, I need the small box because we're just doing 23 inches wide, so we have another box to use. This is my countdown calendar to help keep me on track. I outline the images with a sharp marker before I paint them. Over here on my table, I am gluing together 2 layers of cardboard, and this is going to be the ocean waves. I am using books to weight it down, and actually these are glued so I can take the books off. So move all my books to the side. And I'm going to show you how I develop these ocean waves. So I open up the boxes so that they are flat. And I glue them so that the printed side is on the inside. So I have the plain background on the back. Now I have these little gaps, and I'm going to deal with those, and I have some rough spots. I'm going to deal with those, and then for that, I'm going to use brown paper. So I take paper bags and I cut up pieces to cover the little gaps. There's a gap here, and there's gaps where there's a joint in the box, and also a rough spot where some of the paper tore off, so the corrugated shows. So I'm going to use tacky glue to glue these down, and then the surface will be ready for painting. This is about a 7-foot panel, but I need it to be about 20 feet long, so I'm going to be extending it. I'm going to be adding on to this end. So, but before I extend it, I need to do the same thing. I need to patch these corners, these little gaps, so that we have a solid surface ready to do. Because it's when I have 21 feet of this, it's really hard to do this part. So I'm doing this patch stuff, the patchwork first. I just use my paper bags to cut the strips that I need. So now I need to extend it, and I'm going to glue the next box right here. I left a little piece here to attach. And so I take my box and I have to separate it. It's flattened, but I need to separate it where it's joined together. Here's my knife. Pull that apart. Okay. Open it up. And I want the marked side down. And so that's going to be glued on right there to extend it. So I gotta glue that. Oops, baby. You can flip on that cat. One thing about this job is I have to wait for the glue to dry. So there's a lot of waiting. This is just a little tiny strip where I've just joined this to the other piece. when it's done, I will flip it over because this is the clean side, the plain side. The other side of the box is the printed side, and I want to glue the cardboard to that side so that all the printed stuff is on the inside and I don't have to use extra paint to cover up the letters and stickers and whatnot. So I don't care if it has stickers on it because it'll be all covered. It'll be covered with another layer. So, and then I don't want my pieces to be longer than 7 feet long because I want to be able to put them in the back of the truck. So I got to figure out a bending point of the thing, and I now will fold it so it folds, and then this way and then that way. So it's sort of a zigzag. So that'll be easily to store it or to transport it. And I'm fixing both sides because I'm actually going to make this double-sided. One side's going to be ocean, the other side's going to be fields or forest or flowers or something. And that way I've got 2 scenes in one. I've got a team of people that are going to help me put the base coat down to prime it, and then I'll go in with the detail to finish up. But that's not all. I have a lot more to do, but I'll show you that later. Here's one panel already put together. It is actually folded in 3 parts. See, there's 1, 2, 3. And it's ready to transport to where I'm going to have some people help me paint it. I need to make 2 more the same size. They're 23 inches tall, so they will just rest on the chair of the choir and hide the choir chairs and become layers of ocean. Now, it should be ready by now. Folding point. So I think I'll just add a little piece here, leave a gap, and then we'll add some more. So that way this can be a fold. Now to get that to fold, I'm going to take my ruler and just sort of score it. Do it this way with the brush. It's just important to wash your brush out when you're done. Not the whole project, but you do frequent washings in between. Every time your brush is going to sit and rest a while, you need to wash your brush out, or your brush will be destroyed because the glue hairs will be glued together. Okay, so we got this here. And we left a gap so we have a folding point so that this is 7 feet. So now more gluing and waiting. And I dumped out too much glue, so I need to put this back in here, and then I need to wash my brush and wash my bowl. We'll just pour it back in here. Try not to get it all over the place because I don't like to waste. I'm not going to let the glue sit here in the bowl and dry up while we're waiting for the glue to dry before I do another part. That's the annoying thing about the whole thing, is waiting for the glue to dry. Now I'll go to the sink and wash my bowl and wash my brush, which I will do 100 times in this project. done is there. And now I need to work on this side. We have the fold here, and I need to extend this so same length, and then I need to double it up. The next one on here like that. So we have, so it goes this way, then that way, and then it will come back this way. So we'll have 3 sections. That way it'll be long enough, it'll be around 21 feet long to fit the choir chairs. So I've hired a crew to help me paint. Actually, they're volunteers. We're all doing this because it's for the church. So they're gonna paint the ocean base. So we kind of set up our shop here in the church old fellowship hall. We got everything covered with tarps so we don't get paint on the new carpet. They use the tables as weights. My husband is becoming quite the painter. He's got skill with the brush. Straight lines. Helps to have the right brush. The church needed to be taller, so the guys have added a piece onto the church so that I can have tall towers. My husband actually came up with the idea of adding little flowers in the fields. Cassie and I painted the close-up ocean. Got the sails billowed out. I just need to touch up the rigging. And this is what's going to be with the Pilgrim. It's in a little pocket. And this is going to be like a jail cell where the Pilgrim gets dropped in. And I have painted these sticks, which I'm going to use as the bars. And I'll be able to write down in the cardboard So those are ready. It's like an envelope, and I have it ready. So this part will be glued onto the back. I just will cut the window right about here and glue that to the back of the building. And I've got this really awesome idea. Here is a picture I found of the Church of England. I'm going to recreate this, not exactly, but sort of a general idea. A very rough sketch. So it will have the two towers and the little point here and the little cross and the little points up top. And I will make some, windows and clocks, I guess. One of them's a clock. I'm not sure what the other one's. But this is going to be a big door that's going to set back, and the back of it will be painted gray. I'll tell you what's going to happen there in a moment. This is going to be the jail cell window. So I cut it out in the main cardboard. So we'll take a big main cardboard, we'll paint it gray in here, and then I'll do the details, and we'll have sky and clouds in the background. Okay, the drop-down envelope, this is where the pilgrim's going to get dropped in jail. And then I'm going to have a sliding panel that we just slip in this space, and let me show you who that's going to be. It's going to be the queen, who thinks she is head of the church. And that's what the pilgrims fled from. Well, she didn't like that. So she made up new laws to imprison pilgrims, and that's why we're going to have a pilgrim dropped into jail. So she's just going to be slid into place, and it'll be a great visual. The Church of England is what the pilgrims fled, and she, the monarch, is the cause of it, and the persecution that was brought against the pilgrims. So that's kind of the visual that I'm going to create. Got 9 days left, and I've got lots of stuff planned, and here's my checklist. This is what I still have left to do, and actually it's a little bit more than that. So if you're wondering why I haven't put out a couple of videos in the last couple of weeks, it's because I've been super busy with this project. So I have started packing up the costumes. I make a bag for each person, and I label it with what the contents are, and I put an instruction sheet on the care of the costumes. Sometimes I bag it up by family. This table is a family. The children, their costumes, and the father, his costume. And I do have a little bit of mending to do. So my sewing machine is right here. I will do the mending, and I'm waiting for the person who is fixing up the wigs, and then I got to make sure all the guys have a hat, and I have bonnets for the ladies. So I'm trying to get all the costumes together, because pretty soon I have to start passing out the costumes to the characters. Everybody has their scripts, they have their parts, they know what they're doing. I just need to get them their costumes. So yeah, this is a big production that I do every single year, and I'm super busy right now. Can you tell? Carmona Costume Closet. This is some of the costumes I have. Our pastor as George Washington, that's his wife, as Martha Washington. We have our Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and these are just some of the, oh yes, we have Uncle Sam, he's our MC, some of our colonial families, and we've done, this was their reenactment of the Declaration of Independence, and we've had different people wear costumes from time to time, and so I like to keep a record of some of our costumes, and it's just been an ongoing thing. This is our 5th year of doing this patriotic VBS. You can see that it's mostly set in the colonial days. There's a pilgrim costume that I made. This is our Daniel Boone and his wife from last year. And my husband, he plays Squanto. Here he's Blackfish, who had a relationship with Daniel Boone. Sort of a half-enemy friendship. And doesn't he look Sharp in that costume. And he also plays Squanto. And here he is as Squanto, and I am a pilgrim lady. And we have a little Indian costume. And there's our Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson, a colonial family, and there's John Adams and Betsy Ross. We're not using those costumes this year. We've had Black Robe Preachers, another Patriot, Uncle Sam, and Betsy Ross, and Patrick Henry giving a speech. We've even had British soldiers in the past. We're not going to have any of those this year. So it's been a really fun thing, and that's one of my little colonial boys. But we've had a lot of fun doing this VBS, so I like to keep an album of the different costumes that I have. Because honestly, I forget what I have if I don't have a record. Oh yes, and we're going to have somebody's going to war, so they're going to have some equipment. Our cardboard pile has shrunk, and the tall pieces are no longer here. But I still have a good deal of cardboard left, and I think I have more than I need. But I am going to be using a lot of this to make one more thing. And I've got plans for some of this. So probably going to have leftover cardboard. But it's been awesome to have the source, to have this cardboard. So it kind of occupies this room. So my house has become a project room. I got stuff all over the place. This is why I need my crafting cottage, because look, I'm working in my kitchen. This is where I do a lot of the work because it's a nice open space for me to work. I think I get claustrophobic in small spaces. So my crafting cottage will have a big table, bigger than this right here, so that I will have a good space for working. But I tend to do a lot of my stuff right here on the kitchen table, which means sometimes we can't eat there because I have all this stuff. And I haven't put away these books, which I use as my weights, because I still have a little bit more gluing of panels together. So yeah, I need a space outside my house so the creative stuff doesn't take up my living space. My pastor and his wife are painting.
It's Deborah's desperate.
Yeah. That's what that means.
Hey, I think your flowers look pretty good.
God, I ain't even seen yet.
That color you got back there in that background, I can't.
So the props are ready, and we have a room full of them for getting ready for VBS. We'll set up tomorrow. watching.